Zenless Zone Zero, aka ZZZ, is finally out, and the first limited banner available is Ellen Jo. So this is my Ellen guide in ZZZ, so you can decide if you should pull for her and how to play her if you do. I'll go over her basic rotation, then we'll look at her full kit, and finally I'll give you the best teams to play with her. But before we get into it, please consider subscribing to my channel as I'm trying to grow on YouTube. I'll make Zenless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves, and other gacha games content. Alright, so Ellen Jo is an Ice-type, S-rank character. She's from the Victoria Housekeeping faction, she's a main DPS, and uses a close-range weapon. There are 3 things you should aim for with her in combat. First, you want to trigger the roaming state by using the dodge. When you are in roaming state, start doing basic attacks to perform scissor strikes to deal ice damage. If you hold the basic attack while you are in the roaming state, you will cast a charged scissor strike. That will deal even more ice damage. Secondly, after hitting enemies with the scissor strikes, you will get flash freeze charges. That will basically increase the amount of damage from her basic attacks and dash attacks. She can have at most 6 charges. Finally, when you perform a chain attack, or cast your ultimate, she will jump on the enemies and deal a massive amount of damage and will get iframes. Now let's take a look at her kit. First, the basic attacks. The default basic attacks will deal physical damage, but when Flash Freeze is in effect, she can attack up to 3 times, each dealing ice damage. Then her dodges. Oh boy, she has a lot of mechanics with her dodges. First, the normal dodge. This is what you use to perform perfect dodges and get iframes. Then the double dodge will make her enter the roaming state. You will get some iframes after activation. The third mechanic is the dash attack that you can trigger by doing a basic attack in the roaming state. It will deal ice damage and gain 1 stack of flash freeze charge. If you hold basic attack, it will do even more damage and you will gain 3 stacks of charge. While charging the skill, the damage received will be reduced by 40%, and you will also get some iframes during the skill. The flash freeze stacks will make your basic attacks deal even more damage. Also during flash freeze, you can press basic attack during a dodge to perform a dashing slash attack, dealing ice damage and consuming 1 stack of flash freeze charge. Finally, the dodge counter. You can perform a counter attack by pressing basic attack during a perfect dodge, just like in Wuthering Waves. You will get iframes during the attack. We're now done with the dodge mechanic. Let's move on to the special attacks. She has a normal special attack dealing ice damage, and anti-interrupt is increased while using this skill. The second one is when she has enough energy to activate it. She will deal a lot of ice damage and gain 1 stack of freeze charge. And the last special attack is called X Special Attack. When she has enough energy, she will perform a series of slashes dealing massive ice damage while gaining 1 stack of freeze charge. That's it for the special attacks. Now I want to talk about chain attack quickly. There's not much to say about them. She will crash down from above and cast an ice storm dealing ice damage. Finally, we need to talk her abilities and passive skills in her kit. She has 5 different mechanics. First, when she casts a charged scissor strike during dash attack or consume flash freeze stacks, her crit damage is increased by 50%. Second one is when you have another character in your team sharing her faction or attribute. Her subsequent ice damage will keep increasing by 3% up to 10 times. The third one is when a character on the field is knocked back, you can press perfect assist to move through enemies dealing ice damage. The character will get iframes during all that. I'm not sure that I understand the rest of this fully, so I'll just put that on screen and check for yourself. The fourth mechanic is when a character on the field is attacked. You can press perfect assist, it will carry the enemy's attack and deal daze. The character doesn't take damage during this skill. Finally, the last one. You can press special attack after a defensive assist, which is the name of the previous mechanic I mentioned. She will charge and slash enemies dealing ice damage. You can repeat this or hold to extend this skill. And you are also invulnerable during this skill. So yeah, that's about it for her kit. Her best team is obviously the ice team with Lycaon and Sukaku. Lycaon is specialized in stunning enemies. His ability increase enemies stun multiplier, increasing Ellen's DPS. Sukaku is a support character basically made for Ellen as she increases the team's attack with her passive and the team's ice damage. Since they're all ice attribute, they will keep causing frostbite and shudder, increasing critical damage. So, in conclusion, Ellen will for sure be a very strong character to pull for, and she already has a team ready for her, so the ice team will most likely be meta at the beginning. So let me know in the comments if you're gonna pull for her or maybe waiting for future characters. And consider subscribing to my channel if you like what I do. Thank you.